Hey guys, Mark from parkflyers.com. Today we're looking at a very special product. This is the Team LOSI Promoto MX. This retails for $599.99. It comes with a battery and charger. This thing is a technological marvel. You're looking at a quarter scale motorcycle that is so advanced. This thing is extremely fluid when it drives. It is so unbelievable that these things are going for about double the price on eBay. So you'll see them on eBay for between $1,200 and $800. Right now, I don't think you could even get one. They sold out right away, and everybody went ballistic over them. They drive, they're incredible. They do wheelies, they'll do burnouts, they'll pull a roost on loose dirt. They will jump off a ramp, and you'll be able to hit a jump, no problem. And at the same time, this thing is extremely durable. It was actually designed from the ground up to tumble and spill and fall backwards. I'll give you an example, a feature like this. You have a rear fender. This is the first thing that actually breaks on a real motocross bike. They made this flexible. The character is very pliable. It's made out of a very soft rubber, so it'll bend on a flip over or anytime it falls. Everything is really compliant, and it's actually everything is done the right way. All right, so one of the cool things about the bike is the speed. So we haven't timed how fast this thing is, but it's brushless powered, and it is unusually fast. This thing cranks out, it appears to be going close to 40 miles an hour. It's extremely fast. When I took it over the dirt surfaces on the construction area, I thought I was going to be upset by the big divots in the dirt. And you know what? The suspension on this really took it. It just plowed right through it. And the cool thing is, after you lean the bike in, you give it a turn. Coming out of a turn, it throws a really nice roost, which is very realistic, and it doesn't lose its balance. It just throws that roost, and it just rockets out of the corner, which you would never think on a bike like this. So that is one of the nicest things. The other thing is, if you just quickly pull the trigger, you could initiate a wheelie, which is really cool. The wheelies on this are very realistic. They don't often result in a crash. They're very smooth, and they're very progressive. So this is a special radio. It's basically one of a kind, and the cool thing about it is it does have battery levels here, so you'll be able to, with the G2 battery that it comes with, you'll be able to actually track your battery level as you're riding it. Now, it does drain the battery a little bit faster than, let's say, an RC car, because you're running basically both a very high power gyro and a motor at the same time. I got about, 9 to 10 minutes out of it. I don't know if you guys are seeing different times, but not bad. A little bit below average, but overall not terrible. Super, super high RPM gyro. It keeps this thing extremely balanced, and it makes sure that it has a lot of fluidity when you drive it. You can master it. So there's a big learning curve to this to drive it well. If you get up and mash the triggers, it's going to be a little rough. If you have a little finesse and you learn how to drive it, this thing can turn really tight. It could drive really smooth. It could go over a lot of chop. Because this is quarter scale, the wheels are, just to compare it to an RC car, look how much bigger the wheel is than an RC car. That means you can really go over those rough spots, and they were very smart to make this a quarter scale. Now, if you're going to buy this bike, don't buy it without the battery, because the battery that you need for this happens to be a G2. The G2 means it's missing the balance plug. It's not going to fit in that very tight compartment with this balance plug. Also, Spectrum puts the connector on the correct side. On the bike, it has to be on this side. It has to be on the right side, and there can't be any balance lead coming out. Otherwise, it's not going to fit. The only battery that's going to fit in this car is going to be this battery here. So this is it. 5,000 milliamp 50C. If you get a higher C, I think they're a little bit thicker, so it's not going to work. So this is basically, you're limited to this exact battery because it goes right in the rear of the bike. It gives the perfect balance. Now, just to give you some input, when you jump this bike, a lot of bikes, the older RC bikes, they were very hard to land level. The way that you land this one level is right off the jump, you keep holding the throttle, and the back will stay, the rear will, kind of, stay like, slightly down, and you'll land perfect every time. So this thing really does jumps. Very, very realistic looking. One of the cool things is after a jump, you just pull full throttle, it'll pull right away like it was nothing. It's almost unbelievable. It's like you're kind of seeing, the highest technology expressed in an RC vehicle at this time. This is it. You want to see where the highest technology is put into an RC vehicle. Right now, this is it. This is definitely not a toy. Now, this should not be confused with something like the Razor that LOSI came out with. The Razor, I would consider a toy. It drove horrible out of the box. We did some modifications here to it to make it drive a lot better. We're going to be making a video on this soon, and we're going to go over all the upgrades that we did. After the upgrades that we put on this car, this thing drives like a real Razor. It corners like it's on rails, and LOSI should actually take notes and make a V2 based on the upgrades that we did here. But we'll go over that in another video. Back to this. So this, they actually made no mistakes. Team LOSI took the time. They really honed this to perfection. The demand for this is absolutely huge. And so just to go over some of the cool features that you wouldn't expect on a vehicle like this, you have an actual disc brake on this thing with a real wire to compress the rotor, and it's like a real brake. So that's really, really high tech. The other thing is you have these little balls here on the side, so that when you do leaning, it kind of keeps the bike from falling. Now, you can learn to drive the bike where you don't need these. You can use the momentum to pull it out of a turn or something tight. Another cool feature is a real metal chain. This is actual real metal chain. It comes with lube in the kit to lubricate this, and it has tension just like a real bike, and it really drives very realistically. Look at these tires, these knobby tires. Give a really nice roost. The rubber is very soft, so you get a lot of grip on loose dirt. You have those little multi-spokes in the wheel, so it looks real. Overall, you have a bike that it actually looks and performs better than any remote control bike that I remember. So if you have the opportunity, either now or in the future, to get one of these, I suggest jumping on one of these right away. Is it worth paying a premium on it? Yes, it is. I've seen the highest on eBay I've seen is $1,700. I don't know if it's worth that much, but maybe $800, another $200. If I was a consumer, I might pay that just to get something that's really this much fun. You could spend hours with this thing. Now, we went to a field that was ungroomed. It was a dirt construction site. There were a lot of divots in, something that you couldn't even drive a car in. And this thing just took it. It went over everything. It was just unbelievable. It was like a sight to see. And this is really my top pick for a novel RC product for this year. For 2023, this is going to be my pick for the year. For if you're planning on getting a Christmas gift for a loved one, I would start looking into this now, because it's going to be very hard to get in the Christmas season. So start putting your back orders on these. We're taking back orders for them. You can call me at 1-800-470-8932. Ask for Mark. We'll put you on a list. Everything goes in order, and we'll definitely we should be able to get you them before Christmas. We have a ton of these on back order, and we had them for quite some time, so we're probably going to get them in. Once again, this is Mark from Park Flowers RC. This is the Promoto MX from Team LOSI. Fantastic product, really, really state-of-the-art, and highly recommended. All right, so please like the video, share this with friends, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Once again, we'll see you on the next review. Have a great day.